So I like what you're telling me that you picked up from the last video that you saw on words can change your destiny. So the 4-5 messages that you picked up, they're wonderful. And, like you yourself said, there are so many other things that you can pick up from the video at different points in time. So carry on. But to further this knowledge, let me help you with 6 phrases that you should stop using completely. And this will further help you. So the first one of them is saying, I don't know. Now, once in a while, if you say, I don't know to something, it is absolutely all right because you're being honest about something that you don't know. But here is the catch. If you're saying, I don't know, and if you're saying, I don't know a lot about especially your roles, your context, or dharma in life, like when it comes to your role, your job, your family, your finances, your health, about things that you need to get done for your family members, then this becomes a problem. Why? Because this I don't know is essentially conveying a lack of awareness, a lack of readiness, a lack of preparation, a lack of going deep into something. Many times we've heard about things, but we have not thought, we have not discovered, we have not decided things. And that's where the problem really starts happening, because the discovery principle of, and especially what successful people use, is really not being then used by you. So if you are finding yourself saying, I don't know in certain areas of life or many other places, or it becomes a common response when friends or family are talking to you, then you need to know that there is something about you where you are shallow, you don't have the right knowledge, you possibly are not well prepared. Like I said earlier, you've really not thought through about certain subjects the way you need to do. So the way you should actually change your approach is not to say, I don't know. You should say, hey, I don't know this, but I'm prepared to find out. Or I don't know this, but I would really need some help to figure this out and how to go about doing this. So those are ways where instead of the helplessness or the unpreparedness or the unawareness that you're communicating your readiness to take charge and get things done. In your own mind also, this will convey a lot more of positivity and readiness, because when we say, I am willing to find out, you will take action. And you're committing to yourself and your resources and your energy to something that you want to do, right? So remember this, I don't know, once in a while is okay, but if you're doing that about your major dharmas, your roles in life, then it's a big problem and you need to take action and change it. Not just say, not just change the words, but also do the work. Remember, I keep saying this. This is simply not about changing your words. It's also about doing the work that needs to be done along with changing the words so that you get the right results in life, right? The second phrase or word that we use is I can't. Now, this is where, again, about our roles, about our dharmas, things that we need to do with our job, family, etc. When we say I can't, and this is about things that we really need to do, then again, a helplessness, a non-readiness of or an unpreparedness or a lack of skills essentially is coming up. Again, this is something that you need to stop doing, take some action and get things done. So in a way, you could have said that possibly I have not learned how to do this. Let me quickly pick up on these skills. Or at this point in time, I may not be prepared to do this. Let me think through of how I'm going to do about this and how am I going to go about doing this and get back to you and get this done. So there are many other ways to respond instead of blatantly saying I can't. Now, don't confuse this with saying no in life. It's okay to say no to certain things in life, certain things, not everything. Like in business, many times we have no option to say no to the right things that need to be done, right? So otherwise, you have to get things done. So don't replace the saying no with I can't. If you're saying a no, clearly say a no and say that this is possibly something that doesn't agree to my value systems, or this is not how I've been taught to do this, etc. So that's one. Also, I can't be said, I can't can also be said when it comes to questions of ethics and values. When something is unethical, when something is is against norms, is against legality, then again, you can say I can't. But again, remember what I said, the I can't is a bad situation to be in, a wrong thing to say when it is about the real things that you need to do about your context, roles, dharmas in life. So that's the second phrase. The third one. Now, while the first two ones were mostly about your knowledge, awareness, readiness, understanding, and dharmas and roles in life, the third one is a very interesting one. Many times we don't want to commit to something. And what do we say? I will try. So, you give the impression to the other person that you possibly will try and do this, but you don't do it. Or you are not able to readily say no to the other person, yet you say I try, and the other person gets the impression that you're saying a yes. But this I will try is also a doubt. Many times we don't believe that we have the skills, the power, the capability to do something, and we'll say I'll try. And then in that trying, many times we try and we try and we go down burning in that situation, burning the situation down, harming other people, harming resources. This is not a good way to be. Look, if you can't do something, be outright with that other person. Or if you need resources, if you need time, if you need preparation, if you need support to do something, ask for it. Don't say this, I will try to cover up that situation and get out of it. Because especially if this is a commitment that you're making to somebody through I'll try, that relationship is going to go sour. Your trust quotient is going to go down. Your credibility will go down essentially. So don't do it. And also, if somebody is relying on you and if it ends up being something critical that they need from you, they are going to be left high and dry. And something in their life is going to get impacted negatively. And when that happens, again, that ripple effect will come onto you. So don't do this. This is one perfect way of spoiling your reputation. The other way around also is dangerous, and I've seen this very interestingly. People say, I will try to sort of, buy some soft time with the other person, or maybe try to get the other person to, mollycoddle you a little bit more, or soft pedal the issue, etc., while you will actually deliver it. So you're giving them the impression that it's hard, but you do it anyway. So don't do this also. So this is like, under-committing and over-delivering. So don't do this also. While the previous one is over-committing and under-delivering, while if you're sure you want to do it, again, don't say I will try, because that under-commitment and over-delivery can also make people see a pattern where they will now start thinking that, look, you're doing it very deliberately to cut a sorry figure, or get a little bit more of attention and maybe resources, etc. So either which way, don't do it. If you're going to do something, say you will do it. If you're not going to do something, say you will not do it. If you need some resources or support, say that. So that's the third thing that you need to stay away from. The fourth one, and this relates to the fourth part of my previous video where I had spoken about words having energy, right? So I'll shift to that energy bit of it. Like many of us say, I hate this, right? This angers me, this troubles me a lot, So all of that somewhere comes to that the dislike, the strong dislike for a certain situation. So if you catch yourself saying, I hate this angers me a lot, this troubles me a lot, etc., you're magnifying your negativity. And instead of dispassionately and disconnectedly looking at a situation, distancing yourself and clinically managing something, logically managing something, you're emotionally riled up with that subject, that person, that situation. And that's why I said it will magnify your negativity. And highly likely when you say this to somebody, the other person will also in their limbic system have a reaction, and they can also further add to the trouble of the situation. The other way around, what also happens is if somebody is positive and they hear you doing this, then in their eyes, the reputation that you carry will again get severely hampered. Instead of this, replace the statement by saying, I prefer, I like to, the choices that I would like to have, those kind of positive framing. Don't go down this negative road. Now, this one is something that you absolutely must stop using, or, the likes of it, this angers me, this troubles me, this disturbs me, that entire spectrum of statements. But remember it with this, the key one, I hate. Don't go down that road. The fifth one, and this is a very common habit of a lot of people, that they apologize for everything. And if somebody waited for you, instead of saying, thank you for waiting for me, you end up saying, I am sorry. If, you made a small mistake, instead of saying, please excuse me for this mistake, or let me fix it, you say, I am sorry. And this I am sorry becomes such a pet statement that you're saying it every now and then to people at home, in meetings, and you really don't mean it. And why? Because that habit is really not changing. If you don't come on time, if you don't finish something on time, if you're not able to pay attention to details, and that is a regular pattern that you're doing, and every time you make a mistake, you continue saying, I'm sorry, but you don't fix it. What is this telling others? This simply tells others that you are not serious about what you're doing, and you're not committed to doing things in the correct way. So before you say, I am sorry, you really need to think twice. That is this situation something where you need to first appreciate the other person for tolerating something or for waiting, etc. And second is, are you really not going to do this ever again before you say this? Pause, think, be serious. If you apologize, it better be something very, very serious, because then that will build confidence. Otherwise, if you loosely keep using this term, I am sorry, it's going to just diminish the confidence that others have on you. Replace it with a real reason, replace it with acknowledging the other person, replace it even by saying that, look, it seems that I have made a mistake. Let me step back and think how I'm going to remediate this, and then come back to you with a solution, and not just apologize in the moment here right now. Be honest, be upfront, and prepare yourself for this, because sometimes what happens is in the heat of the moment, when you made that mistake, you want to avoid that embarrassment. Your guilt is coming up. The first thing that comes out of your mouth is, I'm sorry. And it actually may not mean anything. So this is one thing where you'll need to be a lot more prepared and a lot more focused on what you're doing, and if you're going in a certain direction, and if you make a mistake, how are you going to remediate in that situation, right? The last one in this is very interesting, and this is about how we look at our life, and this is about things that we possibly need to do for our finances, health, interests, hobbies, friends, social circle, charity. Could be so many things, spirituality, anything to do with our own self and giving ourselves importance. Many of us, when it comes to our own selves, we say, I think it's just too late, or I don't have the time. And this goes to say that no matter what stark reality has come in front of me, I am really not going to shift the way I'm living my life. I'm really not going to give myself the priority, or this subject the priority. This kills dreams. This kills your own self-care. So if there is one thing that is anti-self-care, the most, it is this statement where it says, I think it's just too late for me to do this, or I don't have the time to do this, or the resources or the wherewithal to do it. If you want to do something in life, if something is about self-care, if something will improve your own life, the quality of life, your capabilities, your abilities, anytime is a good time. You can start anytime and do something positive. Like they say, better late than never. And to whatever extent you can do it, just absorb that into your life. So that's the last statement that I would share with you. So mixed with the messages that you picked up from the previous video on words can change your destiny, focus on these 6 statements and the context that I explained, the first 2, which is I don't know and I can't. This is about your roles and your dharma. Be more alert on how you need to do things. The I will try is the way you're coming across. Don't say that. Choose positive responses. Say a no if you have to, and ask for resources and time if you have to. The I hate or I don't like, I get angered, etc. Absolutely, you need to stop doing that, because that's maximizing the negativity in your life. The apologizing unnecessarily needs to stop. You actually need to fix your mistakes. And the last one, when it comes to self-care and doing things for yourself, make sure you make the time and do this. Try these things and you will find a significant benefit coming your way in the next 6 to 8 months. To wind up this discussion, I must tell you of this very interesting incident that I once saw. Not an incident, it was a beautiful thing that I was seeing. There were these couple of kids who were talking to each other, and they were playing a game and they wanted to recite a story. And every time somebody in the story used any negative phrases, and some of these phrases that I was trying to share with you right now, every time somebody said that, they would stop and they would start rebuilding the story. And the children would say, hey, let's make the story clean, let's make the story beautiful. It was so heartening to see young children absorbing the positive energy of words. And that memory sort of stayed with me. So, just coming back to the subject, since you've watched the video on Words Can Change Your Destiny, since you've heard me sharing these 6 phrases, I also wanted to let you know of this, that many times young children when they are unpolluted by the way adults deal with their life, usually have a very positive way of communicating. But something happens in our life that as we grow up, we tend to pick up negativity, negative meaning, negative language, criticism, judgments, etc. It's important that we pause and we ask ourselves this question. When did we, along the way in our life, become so twisted and complicated and so negative? It's important to let go of. It's high time that we started working on positivity and positive approach towards life. Think about it.